What is up, cinephiles? Welcome back to Screen Kings. We're here for yet again another Netflix movie review, this time a drama film called The Unforgivable, directed by Nora Fingscheidt. This one stars Sandra Bullock as Ruth Slater, a woman who attempts to rebuild her life after serving time in prison for 20 years for committing a violent crime. Now, it's been a while since been here for the channel, so I would like to call back my cinephile friend, Carlos Laron. Hello.
Hi Kevin, hi everybody, how's it going?
Yeah, so Oscar season is now coming, and I know the reason why you suggested this one because one of our favorite categories is Best Actress, Best Supporting Actress. So let's get into it. Did you get the performance that you're looking for in this one? What are your overall thoughts about this film?
Yeah, so I look forward to this film after seeing the trailer, but I did not know it existed until the trailer dropped around mid-November, right? As someone who is a fan of Sandra Bullock, my favorite film of hers is Gravity and The Lake House. I definitely miss her presence in films and projects, so I was very excited. And I think the last one that she did was also for Netflix. If you remember Bird Box, that was so good, right? In here, in The Unforgivable, she plays a grittier kind of character with a history. And here she delivers whatever the role calls for, as she always does. She is a very strong actress. You know, I cannot say the same for the movie though, but we will get to that in a bit. What I will say though is the movie, besides it being a suffering porn, it also makes you question how society looks at ex-convicts, those who just got out of prison. Is there a life after doing time? And I think there definitely is. This was one of the main points of Ruth's journey, what her headspace was like. It's definitely a character study, and now that she is free, what drives her to do all these things that she does now to achieve her goal, and what her goal is. There are a couple of weak points in the film, which we will discuss, and yeah.
For me, it's been a while as well since I've seen a Sandra Bullock film. Bird Box is the most watched Netflix film recently until Red Notice topped
Yes.
that. Yeah, but for me, it's hard not to think that she wants to have a shot at an Oscar again, which is not bad considering the timing of this movie's release and her executive producing this. When I've seen the trailer, I'm immediately drawn into it because I feel like we don't have much stories about ex-convicts trying their best to reintegrate their lives in the society, and there's always been that stigma. Almost everyone has turned their backs on them, you know. Personally, like, it's the type of question like, would you want to be associated with an ex-convict? I'm not gonna be a hypocrite here and say I'm gonna give them a chance, but it's hard, right? So I'm looking to be morally challenged by this film and all the social commentary. Maybe it's too much of a big ask, but I was in this movie looking for a straight-laced drama, like, I don't know, something like Nomadland, like maybe just follow her mundane life, all that subtlety until it builds up. But this movie actually morphs into somewhat of a thriller, which I did not expect. Because as we uncover the truths, and of course we get some flashbacks from her past. Initially, she's unlikable, but even though the character is unlikable, Sandra Bullock makes it a compelling performance. She has this, as you said, a stoic, stone-cold face. You can tell that she has gone through a lot in prison, like prison life changes you, and I can see that in her world weariness. The movie takes a turn, and it's just not something that I expected.
Same.
Since we're at it, the more I think about all the revelations that happen in this movie, I guess it's hard for me to reconcile the logistics of what happened here, how it come across from point A to point B. So the more you think about this movie in hindsight, the more it stands less to scrutiny. So that is my main thing about this movie.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I agree. The story was very cut and dry at first. A woman gets released from prison. She's trying to reposition herself in society after 20 years. That is a long time, and a lot has definitely changed, and she is relearning how the world works again. As being inside has definitely made her a tougher person without a clue of what's going on in the outside world, as she has no family anymore other than her little sister Katie. I found it a little bit weird that they have almost 3 decades gap. She could be her mother, actually, right? And that was one of my issue with the aspect of the story, but that was only a minor thing. And then we find out here that she wants to see her little sister, but she is now adopted by another family. This family will stop at nothing to keep her away from Ruth. And the movie gave us flashbacks so often as to what really happened with the crime so that we can piece the puzzle together. You know what? All the while in my head, I was thinking there must be a layer to the story that will be revealed much later. As you said, there was a turn because it shouldn't be this plain. And true enough, there was a turn, and that was quite a punch in the gut. So if you haven't seen it, I suggest you do, because that was quite unexpected, and that made me pause for a bit because that was not the revelation I was waiting for. So yeah.
It definitely caught me off guard as well. Since we're talking about flashbacks, sorry, but I can't help but to point out that we have a 20-year gap here, and Sandra Bullock basically plays the same version of herself. It wasn't even the age, so I can't help, sorry, but I'm nitpicking on this one. I think this movie is busy with a lot of storylines. I have faith that these storylines will eventually converge, but sometimes I can sense that it needs a little more space to breathe in. And when I found out that this is actually based on a miniseries, that's when it clicked. Like, I think this material is just better suited for a miniseries, because I was watching Mayor of Easttown and I'm getting a lot of vibes here. Same on thematically, there's twists and turns that's happening on a crime. And then when the ending happened and there's a thriller aspect to it, I just didn't find it as emotionally satisfying, the payoff as we're speaking. But actually, the first half of the movie, I felt it was strong, especially on that moments that we're just following her. I think one of my favorite scenes here is a scene between her and John Bernthal. That is such a powerful scene, like the intricacies, the subtlety of breaking the stigma. That's the one prime example that the movie should have banked more. It's hard to say that maybe the movie could have done it without the twist, because they need to be faithful with the source material, but I think the movie is not too focused to highlight the strength of that movie.
Yes, all your points are valid. I agree with to some of them, but I just have nothing but high praises for the performance, I guess. Everyone obviously delivered. Sandra Bullock, I think she was at her best here when all the bottled up emotions she kept for a long time were expressed. We understand her stoic nature because of the story, and then her determination to see her little sister and the forces that stop her from achieving so is really the core of the story. So there was even that one scene, I think that was one of the most powerful scenes there, when she met up with her little sister's adoptive parents, and she was so frustrated and she said, "I exist." That was really what was the driving point of that scene, is all the people around her do not see her as a human being anymore, and she delivered that on top form, I would say. So if there is a nomination, I think that would be because of that scene. And also Viola Davis is here, and Vincent D'Onofrio. They were there for a short time, but they made it worthwhile also, and Rob Morgan as well. So the performances were top notch.
I think a lot of people will be upset because some of the supporting performances here are a bit underutilized. They're expecting a lot from Viola Davis screen time. Most of it is on that confrontation that they're going to have, which is shown on the trailer. But for me, I didn't mind that the supporting characters were thinly drawn as they are. This is more of a character study, and I would just wish that the movie focused on that. But I can appreciate all the sentiments that it has, especially that moment when she yelled, "I exist," because I felt like she gave voice to a lot of ex-convicts out there who are feeling rejected. It's just so hard for
Yes,
them because
honestly.
yeah, they're going to be forever defined by their past. I would like to root for Sandra Bullock here, but given that the movie I think is getting mixed reception, there is still a chance for her. So we'll see.
I understand why a lot of people are not happy with this film, but I liked it enough to say that I'm rooting for Sandra Bullock as a nominee for next year's awards. But yeah, like I said, the casting and the performances were very solid. The story, even though it was an adaptation of the British miniseries, it was done in a way that feels presentable as a movie, even though you could have easily made this another American adaptation of a series. So it could have been like a three-part miniseries as well, but you know, they chose to do it as a movie. It gave me a powerful feeling after the credits rolled on. So with the topic of forgiveness, you know, there are moments in our lives where we give it away freely because some sins are petty and harmless, but you know, the big, seemingly unforgivable ones, we take a step back and marinate on it, wondering if the person is deserving of a second chance, you know. But I would say that forgiveness is not for the person that wronged us, but it is for us, you know. So not everyone who hurt you cares. So I thought a lot about my own idea of forgiveness. So if I were not entertained, then at least I was in the zone of self-reflection. So yeah, it does make sense to me. So having said that, I think I'm gonna give this film a 3 out of 5.
Okay, wow, that was well said. What you said about forgiveness. It put me too on a place of self-reflection, even though I wanted to be more introspective when it comes to exploration of their sentiments. But for me, I guess for me, sometimes even the best intentions, sometimes they can be misinterpreted just because you're defined by your past. So that is the main struggle by Ruth Slater here. It's just that this movie has a lot of storylines to juggle for a film that sometimes it feels like it lacks the urgency. You expected this movie to be a redemption story. You hope that it's going to be that one. I was needing it to be lean and to be more insightful, not necessarily the runtime, you know, to hit its mark. So I'm going to give this well as a 3 out of 5. This is a strong play for an Oscar by Sandra Bullock, just because I haven't seen yet a lot of films that are in contention, but she is definitely one of my top 3 or 5. Yeah. Okay, so that's it for our review of The Unforgivable, now streaming on Netflix. How about you guys? Let us know what you think about this film. Comment down below. Carlos, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Kevin. I had fun, and advance Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Leave a like, and we'll see you all on the next one.
Bye, guys.